Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Saban. So I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a very serious show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, we're trying to hit 200,000 subs this month. We really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and help us hit our goal if you haven't already. We go ahead and get into this topic here. So yesterday was a day of fireworks on ESPN. I actually wanted to talk about the Anthony Edwards game and the whole Kobe Jordan thing. If I'm being honest with you, I'm still holding out. I'm a Kobe guy. I'm a Jordan guy. I got to see it to believe it. But what I'm seeing is incredible. I want to see how this series plays out. And then I'm really going to, because right now as we speak, the Minnesota Timberwolves are 6-0 in the playoffs, which is incredible. They haven't lost a single game this year, but we have to wait and see. But anyway, I wanted to get to some stories today. And these were some of the stories I wanted to talk about based off of what I saw yesterday. So yesterday on Undisputed, it was a pretty fiery segment, but ESPN First Take, featuring Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, and Shannon Sharpe. And they were talking about the state of affairs with the Lakers, especially as it pertains to the firing of two-year head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, Darvin Ham. Then it got to the point where it came Kendrick Perkins' turn to speak. And the first thing he said really floored me, which was, listen, he believes that LeBron James needs to retire. The reason he said that is, as you watch other teams perform well against, like, for instance, a team like the champs in the Denver Nuggets, you look at an Anthony Edwards and these guys, and the Lakers they only got one game. The Wolves already got 2 games off of them. So it's like, so what does that say about LeBron and how good he is based off of what we're seeing with these? So he feels like the longer he stays, the more he's actually hurting his legacy. That's his opinion. I'll probably get to that in another day. So what happened? When it came time for Shannon Sharpe to react, sometimes Shannon Sharpe really annoys me because he sometimes puts out these clown-ass comments that are just unnecessary in certain points in time. And in a moment like that, it was time to be serious. So for Shannon Sharpe to then veer off and take another ridiculous shot at Michael Jordan was absolutely unreal to me. They were talking about the state of affairs with the Lakers. And then out of nowhere, Shannon Sharpe then started talking about, well, Michael Jordan could never do this for Michael Jordan. And then when he finished, Kendrick Perkins clapped back at him and totally shut his ass down over his ridiculous comments about Michael Jordan. For those of you who didn't hear what Kendrick Perkins had to say in response to Shannon Sharpe yesterday, want to play exactly what Shannon Sharpe said first to give the video some context. And then we're going to play exactly what Kendrick Perkins had to say in response to him on live air. So I want you guys to take a listen to that in its entirety. And then we're going to come back, listen to it carefully. We're going to come back and respond to what they had to say. Take a listen to that there.
I think the thing is, when I look at it, is just the level of expectations we have for a 39-year-old. We've never seen anybody in the history of the game have the level of expectations that LeBron James. Nobody expected this. Were you expecting Michael Jordan to get to the Eastern Conference Finals when he was in Washington, Perk? Yes, it's a simple yes or no.
No.
Let that sink in for just a second. LeBron James is the exact same age that Michael Jordan was when he was in Washington. And the level of expectations, we expect him to be an MVP. We expect him to get his team to the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. Perk, a lot of what you said, yeah, the accountability. I can take it to mind when I played 14 years, Perk. 2 of my worst moments, my most down moments, is when Dan Reeves, rest his soul, and Wade Phillips got fired on my watch. And there are a lot of times that I prayed to God, and I know this is an insignificant prayer. I said, God, why didn't you let me be better so I could have saved this man's job? It bothered me that Dan Reeves and Wade Phillips lost their job on my watch because I said, if had I been better, had I been the player then, what I later became, maybe I could have saved him. I'm never going to say anything out of context that can be construed that Shannon is unhappy with his coach. Now, I understand. Ladies and gentlemen at home, I'm not trying to compare myself to LeBron James. I never would. I never had that level of ability playing the game of football like LeBron has in basketball. But I'm just trying to share you guys my mindset when I went to work every day. I gave you everything I possibly had, tried to lead the best way I could, play the way I did on the football field. But it bothered me. And I'm a big guy on accountability. Stephen A., if nothing else, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm never going to be too big. I'm never going to be too prideful. I'm never going to be too wealthy to say I'm sorry or I was wrong. Not enough athletes have that built like that. LeBron's problem is the accountability because he's saying cryptic and subliminal tweets. They're not even subliminal. You know exactly what he's saying. because we've heard it for the better part of 20 years. So we know exactly what he means. We know exactly what he's saying. But the fact of the matter is that if he could have had Ty Lue, or he could have had an Eric Spoelstra, do I believe LeBron James would have had more titles? Yes. But he has what he has. It is what it is. I don't think all those coaches hurt his argument. The only thing that hurts LeBron James is that they don't think we know that he's a large part of the reason why these coaches are no longer coach him. That's the problem that I have first and foremost.
Shannon, you said if he could have Eric Spoelstra, he would have more rings. Damn it, he had Eric Spoelstra. He chose to leave Miami.
And left.
He didn't want to play for Eric Spoelstra no more in that franchise because they wouldn't do it the LeBron James way. Because Pat Riley stood behind Eric Spoelstra. Okay, so when I think about the comments when you said, about Jordan and his expectations, you know why the expectations are different for LeBron James? Because LeBron James put these expectations. LeBron James put these expectations on himself. Because LeBron James is always calling himself on several occasions the GOAT. LeBron James is always speaking out about it. We don't hear Jordan calling himself the GOAT. Here's another thing. LeBron James, this is another thing, man, that I feel like is gonna hurt LeBron. We already know what type of basketball mind LeBron is. I think he's one of the most brilliant basketball minds that ever touched the damn basketball. But when you start making it a case where you're the smartest person in the room all the time, that's a problem.
So you heard what Kendrick Perkins had to say. Look, Shannon Sharpe, who I like, at times does this obnoxious thing where out of nowhere he decides to go off topic and just take a shot at Jordan for no damn reason. How did Michael Jordan even enter the conversation? How did he even enter the I like Shannon Sharpe. He has a Nigerian background and all of that, but I don't like when he does this. Because half of the time he's not keeping it real. Like, that had nothing to do with Michael, the expectation. Shannon, Michael Jordan the GOAT, bro. He the GOAT. You don't believe by saying that LeBron is, but you don't believe it. Jordan is the GOAT. You just miraculously decided to change your opinion and say that LeBron, we know you don't believe that. We know that. I would have appreciated it if Shannon was just serious in that moment. Those comments are not serious. They're ridiculous. They're not serious minded. What does this even have to do with Jordan? The vast majority of the things that are said about LeBron is not said about Jordan. No one accuses Jordan of being a quitter. No one accuses Jordan of not being a killer on the floor. No one accuses Jordan of being passive aggressive. No one accuses Jordan's leadership and all of that because his leadership clearly worked. And he didn't need to jump all over the NBA to extract success out of his team. He did it in Chicago. He built a dynasty with some of the players that were there. Quite literally. Jordan probably built the most iconic sports dynasty in the United States, or dare I say in the world, because Jordan is recognized all over the globe. He's a global icon. So for you to take these pop shots and these cheap shots at Jordan, it makes you look bad because there's nothing that you're saying about Jordan that's going to sway people and say, oh, well, you got a point. Nobody except LeBron fans. These are the only people you're convinced. Nobody else even takes you seriously when you make those comments. Nobody. No sports fan takes you seriously. None. The only people that hang their hats on those ridiculous ass backward comments are LeBron fans. And I've said it before and I'll say it once more. The only people that consider LeBron to be the GOAT are LeBron fans. The people, whereas the people that consider Jordan to be the GOAT are a vast majority of fans. Some of them can be Indiana Pacer fans. Some of them can be Knicks fans. Some of them can be Kevin Durant fans, Kobe fans, Magic fans. Jordan has such a wide spectrum of fans that say, you know what, this guy's the best. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan and I think Jordan is the best. That's the fundamental difference. My point is, number one, that was a ridiculous thing to say in a moment like that. Number two, you're not convincing anyone by saying something like that. No one sat back and heard that and said, you know what? Shannon got a point. Nobody thought that. You're talking about the expectations of Michael Jordan. First of all, when Jordan played, I think the first year he got injured. The second year, at the age of 40, he played all 82 games. LeBron has never done that, number one. Number two, you keep talking about LeBron is so much better. The only difference we're talking about here is LeBron's miraculous athleticism. And number two, LeBron takes more threes. That was it. Jordan was averaging about 22. He was taking less than 1 3 a game. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Jordan didn't shoot threes. And he explained why the reason he didn't shoot threes is because he felt like it takes away from his aggressive mindset when he plays basketball. That's the reason. So he generally did not take threes. That's all. But apart from that, they didn't have the expectation. They didn't expect anything because he was already the GOAT. What else are they going to expect from him? He's already the GOAT. When Jordan came back, he was considered the GOAT. When he left, he was still the GOAT. That's the fundamental difference. Now, today, LeBron is still trying to convince people and use people like you to convince people that he's the GOAT. That is the fundament. What would you expect out of the greatest player of all time? This is the question. You talk about they didn't expect, because he was already considered the greatest ever. He wasn't trying to convince nobody. He wasn't trying to catch nobody. He didn't have to pay people in media to run up and down, twerking it up all over the screen, knocking over people's drinks, throwing them in the chokeholds, and rubbing honey all over their forehead, talking about, you better say LeBron the GOAT. He didn't have that. He didn't need it. What did they expect of Michael? He was already the GOAT. So he didn't need to come out here to prove anything to anybody. What did he have to prove? It's just these guys now with your lame ass arguments when you realize we can't beat Jordan straight up. We can't beat him on the merits. We can't beat him on. So let's attack him when he was with the watch. That's all you guys have left. That's all you guys have left. What's next? LeBron gonna start playing golf and say he's a better golfer than Jordan? Like, what's next? What is next? You, as big as a hater of you are of Michael Jordan, why do you have so many of his shoes? Take off his shoes. Man, Shannon be killing me. So I like Shannon Sharpe, but goddamn, Shannon Sharpe, when it comes to other topics, he's fantastic. But whenever it comes to basketball, he says some of the most ridiculous stuff. I don't understand what prompts Shannon Sharpe to say some of the that he says. I don't understand. He be thinking it's funny. It's not funny. It's corny. It's corny. I'm sorry. Like, be serious. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.